Hello, my name is Dr. George, and welcome back to the series you've been taking me with. You're taking me an online class, face-to-face class, or you're just surfing YouTube and this video came up. This is a quick overview to what a supplement to your chapter reading, my conceptual maps that I provide to you, and the videos and all the discussions and everything that we do within the classroom, or if you're having me fully online. All right, so there's a lot to cover. I'm only going to keep this to 20 minutes to max. If you want more of an in-depth one, just type Dr. George Mochocki, motivation, and you'll see I have a couple out there that I like for 2 hours, different classes I teach, either in management, this school or another school. All right, so here's what we have. We have a lot of information. The hardest thing to do is first of all, hardest thing to do, how do I motivate myself? We've done that with leadership and everything else, so we know that I'm a self-starter, I'm a motivator, I'm a good entrepreneur, I'll make a fairly good, effective leader because people look at people who are motivated to get things done. Now, the other thing is, so now I'm a self-motivator. How do I use my motivation or my vision, my enthusiasm to motivate other individuals? And when I motivate in business, I'm motivating individuals to meet corporate goals, to meet business goals, meet service states. As a business, I'm here to solve a problem. That's the whole thing we're learning. You have a problem, I have a service that'll be able to resolve your problem. Okay? So, motivating individuals one on one. So you have to motivate individuals one on one. So after a while, look at your personal relationship. You kind of know how to motivate your significant other, your kid, your friends to do certain things you want, depending on the leverage you have. Do you have expertise, power? Do you have respect? Do you have some kind of reward you could give them? Or could you punish them? All these are parts of motivation that people look at it. Am I one that brings teams together and they could discuss it and we find a solution? Or am I a type of an autocratic type of leader who doesn't care? You're motivated because if you don't do it, I'll fire you or I'll take money away. All these are different motivation. The ones that you look by autocratic type of motivation scheme punish you and reward does not push the person all the way. It either pushes them too far to the one way or too far to the other way. Let me explain. If I'm being motivated because of fear, I am motivated only to do so much so I don't get punished. No more, no less. Because if I do more and I don't do it right, the system will punish me. So I'm there. The other system, if I'm strictly motivated and say, hey, you motivate and you get the reward, I start cheating because I want that money. Remember the human nature. It takes that's a part of psychology. You can't stop. I don't care what culture. There's human nature. What's in for me and for my family, and then I will look at this. Some people are looking at the other individual, small amount. Majority of people looking at, hey, I'll help others, but I got to take care of myself. That's what you're going to find out with Maslow. We're going to talk about Maslow. All this is what we're going to talk about. Maslow has a hierarchy. If I look at the hierarchy by Maslow, what Maslow is basically telling me, I have to take care of my basic needs, food, shelter, taking care of my family, before I go to the next need, which is basically what's the next need. So I got take it, that's the safety. Then I go to the social need, other people. You know what I mean? So basic needs. Then I go into safety need. I have a job. I don't get hurt. I'm living in my community. I feel safe because of this COVID-19 and everything else that's going on, and some of the unrest that's going on. People don't feel safe. So even though I felt safe, I'm dropping down because Mandel said what comes up comes down. Remember? So what you're learning for business to motivate teams is similar how people, politicians, news media, marketing utilize to motivate you as an individual. So if I'm trying to find a job and I want someone that I'm not going to be laid off, so that takes care of my first basic need. Then the next need is security, and security is I want a job that knows. So I'm looking for a bigger company, smaller companies, they're here, they're gone. So I may be looking at that, so that takes care of my need from a business perspective. Now, If I'm at home and I don't feel safe, so my need isn't met. So now I'm in business and I've got my need taken care of, the security. Now, from the marketing perspective, do you feel safe where you're at now? Do you feel secure? Should you have an alarm system? We are a security force. The police may not be able to assist you. We will come within 15 minutes. We are located here. Do you see what I'm talking? So they're taking, remember, marketing is taking what's going on now and how do I motivate people to buy my product? So people are concerned about security, so I'm selling them security. I'm selling them locks. I'm selling them cameras. I'm selling them whistles. I'm selling them whatever. Same thing when I teach sports marketing. Remember, how do I motivate people? What's happening with the sport? How do I get them back into the sport? All right, so we have that. All right, so we have motivation, everything else. Now motivate teams. Remember, as a manager, the hardest thing you have to do, you have to get the respect of it, is to get people to work and to do a good job. All right, so we've got the motivation. We're all set on that. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Okay, so now when you're going to look at this, I'm going to make this just, I'm just going to go over real quickly, open them up, because we already talked, but this is the gist. Motivation, how I'm self-motivated. So if they see you're self-motivated, how I can get other people to get motivated to do things, and then basically down the road, how to motivate teams. What you're going to find out through this, there is no one way to motivate everybody. We're all individuals. We're all unique. What motivates me may not motivate you. At my age, I'm just motivated. Hey, just give me an easy job, or give me some no vacation, got enough vacation. Give me some kind of benefits. Now, another thing may be motivate individual, younger individual may pay for my school, or pay for my medical, or do this. Single mom, I need medical for my kid. So those factors will motivate a certain segment of people coming in, but may not motivate another segment of individuals. I do a co-op for one school, and I go, hey, you hire college students here. He says, yeah, we hire college. I think it was like a Speedway gas station or something. I was talking to the manager, setting up goals with the instructor. Yeah, we try to get them. We're having trouble getting them. I said, where are you trying to get them from? I said, well, we pay average pay, basic pay, not higher, not lower, whatever the minimum wage is. All right, a buck or two more if you're doing the nights or everything else. Okay. We pay for their schooling. We pay for their medical. We pay for, give them a 401. We give them for retirement. So what's the problem? College students aren't looking for medical because they're on the family plans. They're not looking at 401, that's retirement, that's for old people. They're not looking at vacation. Hey, I got here, this is a part-time job, big deal, it's nice, I don't really care. I'm looking for some extra money. They're looking for cash, they're looking for working with friends, they're looking for safety, they may be looking for education. So you see, even though they have all these policies to bring employees in, try to get them to stay, that's what their motivation is, so you don't go to my competitors. What they have, the motivation triggers aren't aligned with the group that they're trying to bring in. If I'm trying to bring in single parents, if I'm trying to bring in retired individuals, they're looking for safety. They may not want to work the night hour. They may want to work for the day hour. They may want some of those. They may want more cash. So you have to have a policy for motivation that's adjustable. Same thing as a manager. I have as a manager in the corporate, I may have $300 for every employee to motivate him or her. Do I give $300 worth of stuff to that employee? No. If he or she doesn't do anything, I fire them. I take pay away, but I use that maybe I'll give something, anniversaries, so I try to be fair. I try to motivate them. Maybe I just need to talk to them, but I don't have to spend the whole $300. So the extra money I have, I may spend more to motivate a team. Instead of just having a reward for $100, a team reward, and there's 5 people in the team, it's not really much, it's like $20 a person, give or take. Maybe that other money, because these people aren't motivated, there's no way, I tried, doesn't work. I'm not going to give you something unless you do something in return. Motivation is a reward that if you're doing something, it's like the carrot. The same thing when you're a kid. You do this, yeah, you can stay up late. You do this, you can play for overtime. That's my grandson. You do this, I'll buy you a treat. Those are positive. Or you ground it. You do this one more time. Do you know what I mean? But now in between, you have to find what works for other people. So you have just this pocket of money, and you try to do things for different markets. I had construction individuals. They would rather have, not all. I'm just generalizing. They would like to have, maybe I have a beer or a wine or something. You know, they want a beer. My office people would have wine. I don't want to do any of that. I give them a gift certificate. I give them a visa. I have to be able to track my money and see if the motivation effort is working. When we do advertising and marketing, what motivates me to buy the product? Remember, same thing you're learning here is basically the coupon. I reduce it by how much. Coupons doesn't mean nothing to me, but it's buy one, get one free, I get another product. I'll give it a try. If not, I give it away to somebody. All right? So now let's go in here. I'm going to make this a little larger. I'm just going to go over this. So this is my quick overview. I'm done with this. I'm just going to open up these. View. Okay, so you can see them. I promise this. Now there's a lot. Forms of employee motivation. All these are in here. I'm just opening them up so you can look at them. Personal differences. Different people got personality. Some, I'm a participative manager. I help individuals, but some people, the only thing to motivate them, I'm going to fire you. I'm going to take money away. Okay, they'll motivate you. They're motivated. Other people, I just could talk to them and say, here's the reward. How much is the reward? That makes a big difference. Big five personalities. All these are different peoples, and how do I get them to understand what triggers I need to motivate them? Agreeable, I have to tell them, do this tomorrow, because they're just going to agree with me, but they're not going to do it. Some are very emotional, so I try to tie emotion. Miggs and Myers and Briggs. I'm dyslexic, I turn things around. They basically, different types of personalities where you fit in. So if I'm an introvert, I want to be an extrovert, I put these two people as a team, or I try to bring them so they work together. Once I understand where they're coming from, where I'm coming from, it's a communication class. I'm on a cell phone and you're on a landline. We don't connect. You're in channel 5, I'm channel 6, you're on the wrong frequency. How do I find that frequency? Doesn't mean we're going to work, but to motivate, I have to be on the same level, understand where they're coming from, what triggers motivates them, what's important to them. Remember? And then I'll design a motivation package for that individual. Maybe a reward. Maybe they just want to be recognized. Remember, this we can find with Maslow and all that. Okay? Emotional intelligence. Remember, emotional intelligence is basically how do you act within business. Now, I know there's a lot of protests going on, a lot of business are this. From a business perspective, from marketing, don't care. Remember, you're taking a class. You take this information, do what you want with it. In business, I don't tell them I'm a Republican. I don't tell them I'm a Democrat. I try to motivate them. I support different things and different things. I give money to both Democrats, Republicans, to this cause, to that cause. Whatever cause there is that makes sense, I give to them. Depending on the population of my customer base, that's what motivates them to buy my product, so I'll do that. If I have a certain percentage, a small percentage that basically is not happy, I'm looking at the larger percentage. I don't get involved in politics. I want both. As long as you got a MasterCard, Visa, and cash, I live your Bitcoins, cryptocurrency. That's part of business. This stuff that I got to take one side over another, poof. That's why when I'm looking at motivation, what they're trying to do. Remember, some of the individuals, a market trying to motivate a certain company to change the direction that they're going. And they have to look at, here's this market, here's this, I wash my hands, I think one company says we're international. We don't care what's happening on the local level. We support everyone. We're all ethical and everything else. We don't get involved in politics. Keep us out of it. That's where it's going to come back. Because what's going to happen if you start identifying with a certain brand that you are conservative, or you're a liberal, or you're a Marcus, you're a Bernie supporter, or you're a Trump supporter, now all of a sudden you alienated a section of individuals that are motivated not to buy your product because they don't like who you're sponsoring. I don't get into that. I service everyone, as long as you could pay for my services. All right, I'm finished that. Okay, so emotional intelligence, self-awareness, how you act in a business. How you act in business is differently than how you act with your friends. When I'm in my place of worship, I'm very pious. I'm trying to keep it there, all right? Now, when I'm with my friends drinking, man, George is a party animal. Remember? So how do I act in business? I have to understand in business, even though the customer may be yelling, screaming, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, whatever. I showed them that respect, all right? That shows me that how I could act. My boss tells me I don't like this. I don't say, shit, what the hell, No. Remember, business. You act differently in business than with your friends. Okay, other personality and all this. I'm not going to go into this. The book did a nice job. Different attitudes. You know how attitudes formed. Okay, structure, attitudes at work, job satisfaction, and that's what all this motivation is. Some people are not worried about the money. They love the job. They love the cause. You know what I mean? If you look at people looking for certain politicians, if you look at people for Bernie or for Trump, a lot of them are doing it minimum wages. Some are just doing it otherwise because they like the cause, and that's what motivates them, not the money. You know what I mean? So you have to do, but you're working on their emotions. Okay, rewards. That's a good intrinsic, inside, extrinsic. Somebody passed me on the back. Different motivation, scientific method, just motivated by money and everything else. Taylor, remember, I'm just doing. Stress will demotivate you. Make sure you know the difference. Whenever you see the yellow, look at it. I don't have time right now. We talked about this hierarchy. Remember, what goes up comes down, and then you've got what I had is. Oh, here's a picture, right? Remember, you start here. Same thing that's happening here. 11 belonging is only just one book. Most of them are basically just belonging. You want to be part of a team. That's what's hurting a lot of people when we're all locked up or with the family. You get to know the family member, but now you're not a social butterfly or a network. That hurts the economy. It hurts the culture. We're social people. We love to talk to people. Social media, I still need to have that interaction. I love that interaction. Okay? All right, so you've got that. Now, Hertzberger takes all this. Remember, scientific method here, all they talked about your machine and robot, and then when they did the Hawthorne study, found out you have feelings, and that opened up the doors to these. To Herzberg, to Maslow. Herzberg looked at the job, the contents. He looked at motivators, job, the intrinsic, and looked at hygiene factor, pay, and everything. I get a pay, I get a rate. I'm happy. Will that motivate me for the whole year? Heck no. I want a little, hey, you did a good job. I want a little bonuses, little gifts here and there to keep me moving. Look at it this way. You're riding a bike. I'm going downhill. Maybe it's a bad analogy, but look, if I'm riding a bike, I'm going downhill. What motivates me? I got to pick up my speed because I just got a promotion, and what's going to keep me up is I could keep on pedaling. So basically, some of the triggers I got to give a little triggers. That's why you have a 3-month review. You have a 6-month review, just to give those triggers to kind of keep the momentum moving. All right. So hygiene factors. I give everyone a computer, everything else. That's not going to motivate me. They may do it for a little bit, but after a while, like with pay, it's not going to go too well. Okay. All right. And then theories. Let me just move this over. I apologize. And here's a comparison on that. The chart did a nice job on there. You've got that in the book. I just open up in case those of you ain't waiting. All right, the difference between them, reignite the drive, don't work alone, right? That's what's happening. So a lot of this, don't complain. Okay, McGregor, and he basically theory X, theory Y. We're all theory X, but a lot of people like to be, theory X is autocratic. Theory Y is participative. I think I know about individuals. I try to remember each team each class I teach is a little different to motivate than other things. The personalities are different. Some people work well. You go when you're doing teams. If you're taking me for teams or management, you start off with you meet somebody else. You're all right. Then you got the storming. I'm in charge, and then you got the normalization, and then you start going where you start actually performing. But you have to go through the cycle. Think of your relationship when you meet someone. You're real nice to him or her, and you yeah, you're your best, blah blah blah, blah all this stuff, and you open the doors. After 6 months, I want this. I'm gonna go here. I don't want to do this. Then the storming, and then all of a sudden you'll become norming. Things will work out, or you just break up and you find someone that's more compatible with you. But all right. So when I'm looking at the motivations and everything else. So McGregor looked at theory X as autocratic element, and theory Y people basically like to work together. The thing you have to realize that some individuals, small percentage, are theory X individuals. The only thing that's going to motivate them, going to fire you. They only respect you because or the fear factor. When you walk into a Walmart, what motivates most people not to steal? Not everyone. Yeah, I'm not going to steal little stuff because they got cameras all over. We prosecute shoplifters, and the cameras there. I'm on a register. I let my friends. The cameras watching me. I've got tags, everything else. So those are a deterrent. Okay, good. Okay, then Uchi basically is just taking the two autocratic and everything else and tying them together. We talked about that. Goal setting, if you're looking at management by objective. Expectancy theory, when you look at expectancy theory, what do I expect? Reinforcement theory, positive, negative, extinction. If I don't say nothing, it's just basically, hey, they don't care. I just go in a neutral state. Duh. Like a vegetable, I don't do anything. They don't know where I am. Who the heck cares? I just do minimum work to keep my head above water, and I don't care about anything else. Okay, and reinforcement is basically doing something good. Hey, you did a good job, or you give them something else here. Now, here's what I wanted to talk to: is expectancy theory. I had a student that was she was from Japan. I teach another school. Motorola's there, and a lot of the managers there, the kids, and everything else are attending the college I was teaching at. But anyway, one of the assignments I had, she had a little problems. She needs some extra points. So I said, ask your dad. He was a manager at Motorola. And he basically, I said, ask him. I gave it a question because she felt uncomfortable asking him a question. You know, different cultures, different status, how you talk, even within the family structure. I teach international business, international. Those who know international students, you have to understand that. Okay, now. This is just a sidebar. So now, anyway, so she went up and so it's a manager in Japan managing Japanese employees. Speaks English very well. Now he came to the U.S. He's managing here in the U.S. managing American employees, U.S. employees, for lack of a better word. All right. So now the question asked, "What's the difference?" And she asked him the question, and he says, "In Japan, I tell them I will take care of you at the end. They trust me." No problem, and they're motivated because I take care of. In the U.S., I tell them I take care of them in the end. They say, "Oh, wait a minute. What's the reward? What do I get in return?" Equity theory is the effort you want me to perform. My perception basically is worth my effort for the promotion or the raise. If that doesn't work, you can put a fire underneath me. If all I want, look, some people, some individuals I may consult, they say, hey, I've got this workforce. I try to get them overtime, get them more money, and they're not motivated. I say, okay, who's your workforce? They're basically on assisted aid, you know, because they're single parents, got family and everything else. And he says, well, I give them extra money, help them. But the way the system is set up is rigged against them. If they make $1 or $2 more within a quarter or whatever, they have to be evaluated again. You know, they basically lose the assistance. They lose daycare. They lose supplemental food. They lose a lot of stuff just for that $1. They're not going to do it. They know how many hours they need to work. Now the system was gradual. So if I made, let's say, $50 more than I normally did, or normally would knock off that, they just reduced $50 out of my allowances and still able to do that. I could get out of that. A spiral or that situation I'm in. I could get out because it's slowly getting me up, and then as my pay goes up, I could be more self-sufficient. So they say, oh, I didn't look at that. You have to understand your employee, not all. Or I'm your senior employee. They just want to be motivated just to meet other seniors who want to talk to them. So they say, hey, can I help you? They like that interaction. They don't mind, but they're only motivated for a few hours. Don't overwork them. Yeah, come on, because they're not motivated to move within a company. They're just doing it to social with Maslow, and plus a little extra income. Okay. Characteristics at work, skill, variety. These are all motivators. Open communications, right? Social media. Those are be careful what you say on social media. All right, so I've got all these opened up because this is what you remember. You got there's a lot of information. I know I'm already over on this. Global employees, remember what motivates, like with the example I said with the manager from Japan. He's still using the same principles. He just has to tweak them and work them to fit into the culture that he's now basically managing. Okay, now baby boomers, remember? These are all different things that motivate. Here's the one that motivates, Generation Z. Now, just by own experience and everything, Generation Z is more of a conservative. Doesn't mean they're going to all vote for Trump, going to be conservative, but they have conservative values. They want respect, they want law, They understand they're not entitled. They have to work for stuff. They want to be treated fairly. They want everyone treated fairly. They're looking more of a harmony, not as a socialist type of an umbrella. They want, if they do more work, they want to basically be rewarded accordingly to that, and they want to keep their profits more than pay the government and tax and everything else. That's it. They're very technical. This is just a quick nutshell. It's only from let's see. When did Generation Z come in here? 2009. It said they're about now basically coming in from 1996. They're already coming into 18, 19, 20 in here. All right. So does that make sense? So we're doing pretty good. So they're in that age now, but we don't understand it. We're just getting data on there. All right. I think I covered everything else. Let me just come in here real quickly. We covered a lot. Look, this is just a quick overview. This is a chapter that has a lot of information in it. Okay. Expand level 1, and I always want to leave a view, hit the map, so you see what we covered. We did pretty good. Now I'm going to see how many minutes I'm on here. 25 minutes. Have a good day. I'm sorry this is a longer overview, but I wanted you, this is the key to any business, other than financial, the money and everything else, is how to get employees to work and basically do a good job by giving them rewards and everything else. And that's a reflection, so customers come back. If they get good service, especially in small and medium businesses, even larger ones, they'll come back to my establishment because I give them excellent service, because I got motivated, focused employees. Okay, bye. I'm Dr. George Mochocki.